I've been thinking a lot about the concept of guilty pleasures. You know, when you like something but you feel too embarrassed to admit that you like said thing or hobby. Why should I feel any guilt or embarrassment over what I personally enjoy? I have a lot of guilty pleasures, quote unquote, when it comes to music. The one I can think of off the top of my head is I like some Limp Bizkit songs. Now, I never liked their entire discography, but despite knowing full well how stupid their songs were, I still find enjoyment in a select few of their songs. I think it has to do with the fact that my father used to like playing them a lot when I was a little kid. He was really big into nu metal back then, so a lot of the bands that the internet loves to shit on today, I heard a lot back then. Now, despite hearing nu metal music a lot when I was a kid, it didn't really do much when it came to shaping my taste in music because I'm not the biggest nu metal fan these days. But I don't have a seething hatred for the genre like a lot of people seem to, if that's even still a thing. I don't know, maybe we left the nu metal hate back in the 2010s. But anyway, I would gladly sing Keep Rollin', Rollin', Rollin' with Fred Durst because I genuinely like that song, despite knowing that it's dumb. Here's probably some even bigger music hot takes. I like Saint Anger by Metallica, but you probably already knew that. I made 2 videos defending the album. And here's an even bigger atom bomb while we're talking about Metallica. I like Lulu, the collaboration between Metallica and Lou Reed. It mostly has to do with the fact that I am a Lou Reed fanboy. I've always liked Lou Reed more than I did Metallica, so I am very familiar with how unconventional Lou Reed's music was, and he only quadrupled down on the weirdness in his later years, so Lulu wasn't exactly an out-of-pocket album for him to make at that point in his life. What I'm getting at here is, I'm not afraid to admit that I like certain things that a lot of people seem to not like. Because why should I be afraid? At the end of the day, music, TV shows, movies, etc. are pieces of media that are extremely subjective. No one is going to have the exact same taste in music that you do, or the exact same taste in movies, etc., or indulge in all of the same hobbies that you yourself indulge in. So what's the big deal in admitting that you like something that a lot of people don't? If someone gives you a weird look or wants to give you shit for liking something that they don't like, fuck them. They are very clearly not mature enough to have a normal conversation with you to figure out why you like that certain thing and are genuinely interested in hearing your perspective on that certain thing, if they instead want to make you feel like a fucking weirdo for liking something. I remember back in elementary school, I was extremely hesitant to admit that I liked the Powerpuff Girls. There were kids in my classes from time to time who'd make jokes about the show and say, "Ooh, it's only for girls." Meanwhile, even back then, it's always been one of my favorite cartoons. Now, Courage the Cowardly Dog will forever be the GOAT in my eyes when it comes to cartoons, but OG Powerpuff Girls will always be up there behind Ed, Edd and Eddy and early SpongeBob for me. Now, in high school, I believe in junior year, I was sitting at a table with some kids, and one of the kids asked, "Who likes Powerpuff Girls?" Now, I thought it was a genuine question because I thought the stigma surrounding that show was something we left behind in the 2000s. I felt that My Little Pony kind of took that mantle at the time. No offense to any brony who may be watching this. I understand that My Little Pony has a fairly large male following. Trust me, you made yourselves loud and clear like a decade ago. Anyways, I asked him, oh, the original show or the reboot? Because at the time, the fucking awful reboot was relatively new. This was back in like 2017 or 2018. And then he laughed and said, oh, of course you would admit to liking that show. And then I was like, oh. Alright, and then I was thinking, I barely fucking know this kid, so I don't know what vibes I gave off that would insinuate that I like Powerpuff Girls. But I didn't really pay much mind to what he said, nor did anyone else who was sitting around us. I think everyone else just knew that that was elementary school level bullshit. But on top of that, why should I have cared what he thought? Yeah, I like the Powerpuff Girls. Why should his childish teasing have any impact on how I feel about the show? The good seasons of the show, at least. I think admitting that you have a guilty pleasure is also you, on some level, admitting that you feel shame over what you like, which should not be the case at all. If you like something, be fucking loud and proud about it. Who cares what other people think? You are ultimately in charge of what you like and what you indulge in, and so long as what you like or indulge in brings no harm to others, who are other people to judge? I'm not going to cave to external pressure and pretend that I don't like something, all because I feel like my peers wouldn't like the same thing. One, if my friends were genuinely like that and they would ridicule me for liking something that they don't, they wouldn't be my fucking friends in the first place. 2. What kind of life is that to lead, where you can't even express your own interests without fear of ridicule? And this is coming from someone with crippling social anxiety. When I get past the initial awkward getting to know you phase that I hate oh so much with someone, I actually like talking about my interests with them. It shows that I am actually comfortable in that person's presence and vice versa, and that's usually when I start to really click with them. The bottom line is, own what you like. Don't have guilty pleasures, because that is you on some level admitting that you have shame over what you like when you really shouldn't. If someone else wants to judge and ridicule you over something as simple as you liking something that they don't, then who gives a shit? They weren't worth your time in the first place. That's my philosophy when it comes to expressing my own interests, and it helps me just a teeny tiny bit when it comes to socialization. Admittedly, I still have a lot more work to do when it comes to socializing with other people, so don't think of me as some kind of socialization guru or some shit. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Bye-bye.